Good day, everyone. I'm Nurse Ruel Alfred G. Matas, and I'm here to present to you Module 3 Supply Chain and Cold Chain Management for COVID 19 Vaccine by Engineer Luz Biminda Garcia, Disease Prevention and Control Bureau, Department of Health. Just recently, dated March 4, 2021, the World Health Organization announced that more than 480,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccines arrived in the Philippines from the COVAX facility, the international partnership established to ensure equitable distribution of COVID-19 vaccines around the world. And to start, let's proceed to the objectives. Number one, to be able to estimate total storage volume requirement for vaccines and safe injections, to be familiar with essential cold chain equipment storage requirements of vaccines and assess the current cold chain capacity and dry storage capacity. Number three, to prepare the distribution and transport of vaccines and injection supplies. And number four, to be able to identify the critical processes in the acceptance, storage, warehousing, inventory management, and monitoring. How to compute for the vaccine ancillary and manpower requirements. The following parameters are necessary to properly calculate the requirement of COVID-19 vaccines, immunization supplies, and human resources. Number one, should know the target population, number of doses per target, number of doses per vaccine vial, wastage factor, target vaccines per day, and duration of immunization activity in days. And to explain, here are the chart. Now, in this column, parameters, target population, and the description. So our first priority to receive the vaccines are the frontline health workers. Second priority, indigent senior citizens. Third priority, remaining senior citizens. Fourth priority, remaining indigent populations. And fifth priority, uniformed personnel. Number of doses per target. It's be 2 doses per target via intramuscular and 20 days apart. Number of doses per vaccine vial 5, 10, and 20. Wastage factor 1.11 for 10 dose vial, 1.18 for 20 dose vial. Target vaccines per day 100 vaccines per day. And duration in days of vaccination activities is 7 days. COVID-19 vaccine management and reverse logistic. Pre-vaccination activities. Receive logistic requirements for the campaign. Count all logistics, vaccine syringes, CB, resealable plastic, and etc. Received to ensure no short shipment. Check the vaccine label is intact. Then store dry supplies in safe and secure place. Vaccine in designated equipment and desired temperature for a desired temperature of positive 20 Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius, and there's a negative 20 Celsius and negative 70 Celsius. Okay, in the storage of MOPV2, at all levels, store vaccine at prescribed temperature. All COVID-19 vials should be kept together in the same cold chain equipment as described in the drawing or in the chart. Because when vaccine is too hot or too cold, it becomes less effective or even inactive. If stored at the incorrect temperature, vaccines can be ruined or unsafe for use. Most COVID-19 vaccines require positive 20 degrees Celsius and 8 degrees Celsius. Some vaccines require temperature as cold as negative 20 degrees Celsius. Some of the newer COVID-19 vaccines need to be kept at negative 70 Celsius. Regular refrigerators, and this is important, please remember, regular refrigerators cannot maintain an even temperature consistently, so specialized medical refrigerators are required for the precious product, like this one. Um, this is specialized medical refrigerators. Equip Equipment containing COVID-19 vaccine should be labeled properly. Again, co- equipment containing COVID-19 vaccine should be labeled properly. That's very important. Next, intra campaign. At the beginning of each vaccination, vaccinator must be provided vaccines placed in resealable plastic bags and an empty bag for the open use vials. Daily issuance of vaccine should be recorded in the distribution and collection form acknowledged by the vaccination team leader. At the end of each campaign day, the vaccinator must be returned all vials unopened, fully or partially used, placed in the resealable plastic bags to the same health facility where they receive the vaccines in the morning, and VAM records the vials received. Health facilities vaccine distribution point must then keep the unopened usable vials in a cold chain to be used for the next days. All open or unusable vials contained in the markable plastics by 20s must be kept in the peak of the CHD at the end of the vaccination for period for disposal. Next, distribution of vaccines vials all levels. Vaccine is very sensitive to heat, like I said, and needs to be properly transported and stored. Vaccine is distributed from the central to region to CHO, PHO to health centers in a vaccine cold bags for carriers lined with frozen ice pack. Packing vaccines in cold bags. Number one, um, arrange the frozen in cold bags as shown in figure 1. Put the vaccine in resealable plastic in the middle of the cold bags to protect the label from damage due to condensation. Number 3, close the cold bags all the all the time and should not be open unless necessary. So storing vaccine is very important. And then we should never store vaccine with the non-vaccine products such as medicines, laboratory reagents, and with any laboratory vaccines or laboratory specimen, I mean. Vaccines must always be properly labeled and stored at the recommended temperature ranges. Labels should be visible at all times. Do not open the refrigerator unless it is essential to do so. And frequent opening raises the temperature inside the refrigerator. Then next, packing vaccine in vaccine carriers. Letter A. Arrange the frozen in ice pack exactly as shown as the manufacturer instructions on the inside of the lid. Then different models of vaccines carrier with the diagrams on the lid. Letter B. Put the vaccine in the resealable plastic in the middle of the vaccine carrier to protect them from damage due to condensations. Then frozen ice packs can be used and do not cover the frozen ice pack in paper. For some of the na according to Julius Biminda, there's some of health workers that they cover the vaccine with the paper, I think to protect the vaccine, but it's not advisable. And then proper packing vaccines in vaccine carriers. Resealable plastics used to keep vaccine in a vaccine carrier. It's like I think the plastic is like a Ziploc. So post-vaccination, reverse logistic flow. Empty and open vials should be returned daily by the vaccination team to HCRCU for consolidation. And the end of each vaccination period, accounting empty open vials should be kept in safe and secured place in health facility. An open usable vial should remain stored at required temperature and properly accomplished from A to await pickup by the CHD for the destruction. So here is the example of their how to be done. Retrieval of vials from the field. Vaccinator should return vials in resealable plastic. Maximum 20 vials per resealable plastic bag. And the bomb and supervisor should count collected empty vials at the end of each vaccination day. So this is the retrieval of vials from the field. Empty vials retrieved should be well accounted and documented. And in the post-vaccination, it is important that they will compute the vaccine doses. Use includes doses used for immunization and all doses discarded or lost for any reason. And the wastage rate it is the percentage of the vaccine that's that are wasted. Other words, thus doses that are not used for immunization and are discarded or lost for any reason. And, and that's the end of my report. Thank you and God bless. And again, I'm Ruel Alfred G. Matas, Division Nurse, Lapu-Lapu City.